You join me on another big grid race which took place actually on Sunday, and it was the Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona, an hour and a half race. There is 46 entrants this evening, and yeah, I'm starting 31st in the Porsche 911. I think I made a mistake in the car. I've been practicing all week really with this, and the car's just, it's quick, but my god, it punishes you a lot. So as you can see, I was just warming up the tyres, and we are go. So an hour and a half. Just ignore top left hand corner because it says I'm 46th. I'm not. I've got this run on down to the first corner. Always going to be a bit tricky, but generally everyone's rating's pretty good, so we should be able to get in it just fine. Got Ferrari going onto the grass, so I try to avoid that, and then I'm slammed up the rear by this Mercedes. I just, yeah, completely again innocent in the accident. Affected the safety rating, and I'm now dead last again. Yeah, so if we look at a replay, you'll see the Ferrari gets his braking very wrong, goes up onto the curb. The Mercedes behind actually then just wallops me and just turns me around. I mean, he obviously gets turned around as well, but so his race is also ruined. I think, yeah, I just don't know what some people play at. It's first corner, just allow everyone to have a bit of room. If we go onto the Helicam version, you'll see there's the Ferrari onto the grass, and quite literally, I think, looking at that, two Mercedes hit each other, and then that then piles into the back of me, spins me around. There's a tiny bit of a glitch there with the Mercedes, and then, as you can see, dead last, and an hour and a half to get going again. A few cars have just spun out, and well, so we're not last, so that's the good thing, and we really just got to just see how the next hour and a half play out. I got a full tank of fuel, so the car's very difficult and very different to drive. To be fair, it's actually a bit more planted. The problem is it's slow, it's really slow, and I also had a slight issue in that I think I'd probably put a bit too much tyre pressure into the tyres, and you can see that halfway through lap 1, you know, the front left is already getting quite warm, and I've not even really got going. So just a case of playing it out, seeing what we're going to do, seeing how everyone else performs around me, and if I can keep it together without any real issues, then maybe we might be able to get somewhere in the race. But certainly, if you want to really do well at this race or these types of races, you can't afford to have an accident, because I dread to even think how far down the field, you know, time-wise, and how much time that lost me. But we're back onto the end of the grid, and we've got the BMW ahead of us in this awful colour. We're moving on a couple of more laps. Got a few spinners now. We're up to 40th. We've lost one, so we're down to 45. And you can see got this long trail of cars now. We're sort of a bit spread out, but we can still hope that a few people are going to have a few incidents. Unfortunately, well, 4 minutes in, and I've already got a time warning, so I only need to get a couple more of those. And yeah, with an hour and 25 minutes to go, I was starting to think that this was just not going to be my race at all. Really didn't. And you can see that BMW is really pulling away. I've just got no speed in this Porsche, and I kind of just knew straight away that maybe this Porsche is not going to be right for this. It's the cars I have for Barcelona, but for some reason the setup wise, I just hadn't got it set up correctly. But anyway, we are following this Ferrari 488, the Rinaldi racing car. He looks to be a bit all over the place, so that gave me a bit more confidence that I'll be able to push him a bit, see if we can force him into a mistake. But certainly I reckon we could have got past him. take the left-hander here. You see better on the brakes, the acceleration wise as well, so it's only going to be a matter of time before we pass him. Starts to run wide, clips the polystyrene, but we're through, so it didn't take us that long. Again, another lap or so, and you can see we've got a big trail of these cars now. We've got the Porsche ahead of us, and we've also got another BMW, and we've got Varga as well. The Porsche, oh dear, the Porsche got it very wrong, very wrong. Holds up the BMW, which is good for me, but just going a bit too deep into the chicane. Oh, I just lost too much time there, but I passed the Porsche at least, so we're up to 37th. 10, well, okay, so cars going off left, right and centre again. The sun's starting to come out. Looking at the tyre temperatures that we've got, they're not doing too bad at the moment. Fuel wise as well, we're saving quite a bit of fuel here, so we don't have to, we are going to have to top up at some point, but certainly we're not going to be needing to do that anytime soon. Race world in this Audi ahead of us, a bit all over the place again, sort of giving me some confidence that I might be able to sort something out, try to pass him at some point. You can see, even with the slipstream, that Audi is pulling away, so he's got mighty top speed. The Porsche just hasn't. Going into turn 1. Nice. Both of us are quite nice. The Audi holding on quite nicely. Oh no, actually, take that back. Just slightly drifting out a bit. But certainly I think that Race World in 34th we could probably have at some point. He is consistent, but yeah, so we move on like another lap or so. You can see we're just getting, it's getting all a bit crosswise. The McLaren ahead loses it slightly, and ever so slightly just sends the Audi off into the gravel. Take advantage of that, thank you very much. And we're through. Nice pass. And there's some bonus points. A little too deep into the chicane, but we've made the pass, so that's all that matters. And now we've got Wink, and I'm not even going to pronounce that. I'm assuming it's a Dutch name. Grondveld ahead. But yeah, nothing really happened then for the next sort of 15 or so minutes. I'm sort of by myself, as you can see. Nearly 10 seconds is the BMW ahead, and over 5 is Varga behind me. And then this happens, just coming through the chicane, the rear end just totally steps out, and I'm literally just a passenger. I go straight head on into the tyre barrier. That damaged the car to the point of, well, just, well, one trying to get back onto the circuit, but unfortunately the steer, look at that, I mean, yeah, massive damage to the suspension. Luckily I'm quite close to the pit lane, and I thought, right, what I'm gonna do now is let's just get this back into the pits. We'll get the fuel in, we'll get another change of tyres on, and that will be my pit stop. A bit earlier than I thought, but let's just get this done. I just honestly have no idea how I lost the rear end, but this is what I mean by that Porsche is just very, very unpredictable. So into the pit lane. I'm having a panic on as well, because all of a sudden I'm having to adjust my strategy as we're going through. My brain's ticking over going, how much fuel do I need, you know, tyre pressures, you know, what do I need to adjust of those. And quickly, very lastly, I forgot to tick the suspension and bodywork. So in we go. How long is that going to be? A minute and 23. You see, there's a bit of a pattern in these videos, isn't there? I seem to always be in the pits for over a minute. Yeah. Not impressed. But I've got my pit stop out of the way, but I'm just going to have to run the final 52 minutes of the race on one set of tyres and basically fuel it to the end. I haven't really got an idea too much about the fuel. I probably really maybe overfilled it, and I didn't really want to do that, because obviously the more fuel in, the slower it's going to be.
There's a car approaching. Watch your mirrors.
So we leave the pit lane. Oh, where are we looking at? Pretty much last. 34th out of 36. Henderson is 35th. Oh, we got a Mercedes going off there. But also being lapped as well at the same time. 50 minutes to go. It's like, do I even bother? But I thought, no, I'll just carry on. You know, it's racing at the end of the day, whether you finish first or last. As long as I'm getting, you know, enjoyment from racing, I don't really care too much where I finish. But it also, you know, affects your safety rating as well, and I don't really want to do that. But we carry on. Henderson getting very close up behind me. He's very quick. I don't know what sort of strategy he's on, but yeah, he's all over me, and I sort of have a feeling that it's only a matter of time before he passes me. He's having a look. He's quite a fair racer as well, so that's quite good that we can get a couple of battles in without getting into too many issues. But I'm quite a distance behind 33rd, but as I say, I have pit early, so that also might play into me a bit later on. But still, all I'm thinking to myself is, oh, I'm just in the wrong car. I know I can go quicker, but yeah, with this Porsche, I'm just so sort of frustrated by going in a bit deep again into that chicane. I'm just frustrated that I can't go any quicker, and I know I could be higher up. And yeah, just in the future, the Porsche isn't the way to go for me. It doesn't really suit my driving style, and I have to work out what other car I'm going to use. Henderson's going through top speed. He seems to be quicker than me. He might be on a lighter car, that might be the reason why, and he goes through. We also, I decide I'm going to sort of hug the inside and let Brisk go through, who's running in 4th. And yeah, just disappointing when you've been lapped. But Henderson's starting to sort of also get away from us, so he's very quick at the moment. And then behind me, I've also got 5th and 6th, so I'm going to have to be quite wary about where they are. I'm not too worried about losing time. You know, when they get up really close behind me, I'll just let them through, and if it means I lose like 2-3 seconds, it's what, you know, I'd rather do that, because I just don't want to spoil their race. Into this right-hander, we don't take that too bad. Run a tiny bit wide, but nothing too much. But yeah, 47 minutes to go. Only one time penalty so far, so managed to get it back. But I spend the next 20 odd minutes literally just doing nothing. And you can see with 28 minutes to go, 34th still, so still no good. We've got Zeman in the Mercedes ahead of us, in this red Mercedes, and I think he's he's caused that first lap incident, first corner incident. You see, he's a bit all over the place. I don't know if his tyres must be all right, because you know, unless his plan was literally to go to the end, but you can see he's a bit all over the place. We come up into the chicane, and I don't know really what happened there. I just don't know what happened, because I was quite a distance. The next thing I know, he brakes so early into that corner and just went so wide that it sort of caught me a bit by surprise. Just don't really know what happened there. But again, another little issue with the safety rating, and I lost a couple of points. So, 15 minutes left, 32nd now of 35 runners, and I am 7 seconds behind Henderson. I've got a back marker of Malowski coming up behind me, and then I've got Zeman, who is, well, way down the order. So I'm pretty much running by myself now. I've got really nothing else to prove. I'm just a lonely old man driving around in a Porsche, which I don't really want to be driving around in. Plenty of fuel, overfueled it, didn't need that kind of fuel, but yeah, just really nothing happening. Just kind of hitting, you know, sort of the same lap times, you know, building up as much like racecraft and all that kind of stuff. But we start the last lap. Sun's starting to set slowly now in Barcelona. We are up to 29th, so we're not going to finish last, so that's good. And as well as I've noticed that I was hauling in Escarca in the, I think he's got a Nissan GTR, and on the last lap, I don't know where this time's come from, but unless he's backed off a lot, I'm really starting to gain up on him, and I thought I don't think I'd be able to catch him by the end of the race, but given another lap or so, I reckon I could have been on him. But we come through this sort of chicane for the last time onto the back straight, and yeah, just overall really disappointing big grid race for me. Really wasn't overly happy. An hour and a half, you know, it does take a lot out of you, and you know, the overall result, I didn't have a huge amount of passing. That's why this video is quite short. There's not a huge amount to show you. Just by myself, just driving endlessly, lap after lap after lap. So the winner's through. I think we were, I can't remember if we were one, I think we were one lap down, that's all. You can see we're massively gaining on the Nissan, but it's not going to do as we come through the last corner. That's the end of the race. The 29th is what we're going to finish out of 33 runners. Yeah, need I say more? But unfortunately, through some stupid driving on the first corner and through the sort of the Porsche's just instability as well, it just caused some issues. But thanks for watching today's video. Like and subscribe for more. Links in the description below, and I'll see you all again very soon.